I thought I was done for the moment I saw my name glowing on the company screen outside the executive floor. In a place where people avoided attention like it was a disease, being called to the CEO's office without warning meant only one thing: termination. My heartbeat turned heavy, like it had already accepted defeat. I had worked at the company for 3 years, quietly, efficiently, never late, never loud. But in a corporate world ruled by power and perception, effort didn't always guarantee survival. As I walked past rows of glass cubicles, I could feel eyes following me, some curious, some sympathetic, some relieved it wasn't them. My mind replayed every tiny mistake I might have made. That report I submitted last week, was it missing something? That meeting where I spoke a bit too boldly, did I cross a line? The elevator ride to the top floor felt like a slow descent into uncertainty, and by the time the doors opened, my palms were already sweating. The executive hallway was silent, almost intimidating, with soft lights and expensive decor that reminded you exactly how small you were in the hierarchy. I reached her door, took a deep breath, and knocked. "Come in." Her voice was calm, controlled, exactly the kind of tone that made you more nervous instead of less. I stepped inside and saw her standing near the window, overlooking the city like she owned every inch of it. She was known for being sharp, distant, and almost impossible to read. Employees respected her, but Northwest One felt close to her. She turned slowly, her expression neutral, eyes locking onto mine in a way that made me feel exposed. "Close the door," she said. And just like that, the finality of the situation hit me. This was it. No witnesses. No interruptions. Just me and the woman who could end my career with a single sentence. I closed the door gently and stood there, unsure whether to sit or wait for permission. She noticed, of course, she noticed everything. "Relax," she said, gesturing toward the chair in front of her desk. But there was something in her tone that didn't match the word. I sat down, trying to steady my breathing, preparing myself for the inevitable. But instead of speaking immediately, she walked around her desk slowly, almost thoughtfully, as if she was choosing her next words with extreme care. That made it worse. People don't hesitate when they're about to fire you, they just do it. So why was she taking her time? "You've been working here for 3 years, she finally said, her voice softer now. I nodded. "Yes, ma'am." She tilted her head slightly, as if analyzing not just my answer, but me. "And in those 3 years, you've never once asked for a promotion, never complained, never even tried to stand out." I swallowed. Was that a bad thing? I just focused on my work, I replied carefully. She let out a quiet breath, almost like a sigh. "Exactly. You stayed invisible." My chest tightened. Invisible. That didn't sound like praise. That sounded like a reason to be replaced. "I'm sorry if that's a problem," I said quickly, my voice betraying a hint of panic. "I can do better, I can take on more responsibilities." She raised her hand gently, stopping me mid-sentence. "That's not why you're here." I blinked, confused. "If not that, then what?" She stepped closer, closer than I expected, and suddenly the air in the room felt different, less like an interrogation, more like something I couldn't quite define. "Do you know how many people fight for attention in this company?" she asked quietly. I shook my head. "Too many," she answered herself. "Everyone wants to be seen. Everyone wants power. But you," she paused again, her eyes softening just slightly. "You never chased any of it." I didn't know what to say. I had spent the entire walk here convincing myself I was about to lose everything, and now she was talking like she had been observing me for a completely different reason. "I thought you wanted me fired," I admitted before I could stop myself. The words hung in the air, bold and reckless. For a moment, I feared I had just sealed my fate. But instead of anger, something unexpected happened. She smiled. Not the cold, polite smile people used in meetings, but something real, something almost shy. "Fired," she repeated softly. "Is that really what you think of me?" I hesitated. "You're intimidating," I said honestly. That made her chuckle under her breath, and for the first time, she didn't look like the untouchable CEO everyone feared. She looked human. "I called you here because I needed to understand something," she said, her voice dropping slightly. "Why you? Why me?" I echoed, completely lost now. She nodded, her gaze steady. Out of all the people in this building, you're the only one who never tried to impress me. You never changed the way you spoke when I walked into a room. You never pretended. She took another step closer, and I could feel my heart starting to race again, but for a completely different reason this time. Do you have any idea how rare that is? I shook my head slowly. No, she smiled again, softer this time. It's rare enough that I couldn't ignore it. The tension in my chest shifted, transforming into something unfamiliar, something almost dangerous. This wasn't a firing. This wasn't even a warning. This was something else entirely. I've been watching you, she admitted, and that sentence alone changed everything. My thoughts scrambled. Watching me? Why? Before I could ask, she continued, her voice barely above a whisper now. At first, it was just curiosity. Then, it became something more. The room felt smaller, quieter, like the world outside had disappeared. I could hear my own heartbeat, loud and unsteady. Something more. I repeated, my voice almost hesitant. She held my gaze, not looking away this time. I think I've developed a problem, she said, and there was a hint of vulnerability in her tone that didn't belong to a CEO. Because every time I see you, I forget that I'm supposed to be in control. That was the moment everything flipped. The fear, the anxiety, the expectation of rejection, it all shattered in an instant, replaced by something I never saw coming. You're serious? I asked, half in disbelief. She nodded slowly. Very. There was no trace of doubt in her expression now, only honesty. And suddenly, all the small moments from the past few months started making sense, the way she lingered during meetings, the way her attention seemed to find me in a crowded room, the subtle changes in her tone when she spoke to me compared to others. I had dismissed all of it, convinced myself it was nothing. But now, standing here in her office, I realized I had been completely wrong. I thought you were evaluating me, I said quietly. She smiled. I was. Just not in the way you thought. A silence followed, but it wasn't uncomfortable. It was heavy with meaning, with possibility. I don't usually do this, she admitted after a moment. Mixing personal feelings with work, it's risky. I nodded, understanding the weight of her words. This wasn't just about emotions, it was about reputation, power, consequences. Then why tell me? I asked. She didn't hesitate. Because not telling you felt worse. That answer hit harder than anything else she had said. There was honesty in it, raw and unfiltered, and it made everything feel real in a way I couldn't ignore. For the first time since I entered the room, I wasn't thinking about my job. I was thinking about her. And maybe, just maybe, she wasn't the only one who had been feeling something. If this unexpected twist caught you off guard and pulled you into the story, make sure you subscribe to the channel and stay with us, because what started as fear is about to turn into something far more complicated, emotional, and unforgettable.